Inceptor ARX 38 Special. Very curious about this ammunition, how it will perform against water jugs and wood, and what kind of velocity numbers we're actually getting. This is made by Polycase. The projectile is made by Polycase, and basically what it is it's a copper polymer matrix, which basically means there's copper dust and filings melted into plastic, and that turns into a 77 grain projectile. Very interesting. The rate of velocity on the box is 1,260 feet per second. No listed barrel length, so what we're going to do is we're going to run it through the 4-inch barrel and the snub nose barrel and see what kind of velocity numbers we're getting between both of those. And maybe we'll get close to that advertised velocity in one of these barrels. Then we'll hit the water jugs and wood and see how it compares, and I'm going to compare it to a more traditional ammunition like this Winchester Super X 125 grain plus P jacketed hollow point. We'll see how that compares to something like an ARX style bullet, which does not rely on expansion. So let's get started with the test and see what kind of velocity numbers we're getting. All right, first I'm going to run it through the 4-inch barrel Smith & Wesson 686 and see if we got anywhere near close to that 1,260 feet per second listed velocity. $12.69, $12.52, $12.03, $13.01, $12.20. So it's safe to say they probably got their velocity numbers out of a 4-inch barrel, which is pretty much the industry standard for 38 special testing. So let's see how close in velocity to that 1260 feet per second we get out of the snub nose barrel. ARX. $10.73. 10.12. 10.79. No read. 10.21. We'll put one more through for a 5-shot average. 10.90. So I would say quite a bit less than the advertised velocity. Let's see how the Super X out of this snub nose revolver compares. All right, let's see how the Super X 125 grain jacketed hollow point compares in velocity. And you have to remember this is about 48 grains heavier projectile weight. So let's see what we get out of the snub nose revolver with the Super X. $8.15, $8.35, $8.52, $8.45, $8.44. So about average for something like this. However, I would say that the recoil was quite a bit more with the standard jacketed hollow point, and it seemed like with the ARX it was very, very low recoil, very much similar to a standard pressure, probably even a little bit less, so a little bit less muzzle jump with the ARX. So let's see how it compares in water jugs and wood and see if there's a difference. Alright, like always I have 4 layers of denim on the front of these water jugs. We'll see how the standard plus P 125 grain jacketed hollow point Super X compares to the other one. So we're going to start with the jacketed hollow point. Alright, first jug we split it. That's pretty good, that's pretty average. Good amount of impacting force right through the denim. Second jug is damaged pretty well. Third, fourth, fifth, and what we got is complete pass-through of 5, and it arced out. It hit and damaged the 6th jug and went out there somewhere. So considering we had a pretty centered hit through the denim, and we were only getting a little over 800 feet per second velocity, it's safe to say that there was no expansion on that particular round. We'll see how the Inceptor ARX compares. See if we can stop it in one of those jugs. Because even if we don't get necessarily more damage, it's still a good thing to be able to slow it down so we don't get over penetration. Let's see how the ARX compares. All right, we went through the denim. Recoil was very light yet again. 1, 2, 3. And I see it in the third jug. No damage out the back of the third. Okay, what we got is it fragmented, it broke up. And it was in the second jug that we had these fragments. We had the tip and another small fragment. And then in the third jug, we had the majority of the core of the bullet. So it broke up pretty quick and easy. Definitely not over penetration, and I would kind of say, is that really enough penetration? I'd be a little bit skeptical if that's going to be enough. It certainly probably would not meet the FBI's protocol. However, for concealed carry, it may. Let's hit the wood and see how these two cartridges compare to each other again. Right, Super X, traditional jacketed hollow point. We'll see how that does. And I don't know how it happened, folks, but the slug came back and hit me between the eyes. That sucked. I've never had that happen with these type of tests before. It felt like somebody hit me between the eyes with a hammer. That wasn't fun. So I'm going to back it up a little bit for the ARX because I'm kind of a little squeamish now. We'll see how that compares. Alright, I'm going to back up just a little bit more. I know that this probably would be fine. It's not a traditional bullet, but we'll see how the ARX compares. Alright, we caught the ARX bullet in there. So let's take it apart and see what we got. Alright, this is where we hit with the standard jacketed hollow point. On the edge here, I don't know how I made it such a far shot to the left like that. That's not typical, because I did aim very much centered, and somehow it went through. And looks like what happened is it hit this tape here, and it deflected it back right at me. That didn't feel very good. I would have to estimate the amount of foot-pounds energy that hit me was somewhere along the lines of maybe 25 foot-pounds. Okay. And the ARX did not even go through board 1. And kind of technically the standard one didn't either. That is very interesting. It's about halfway in there, so we definitely are not getting much as far as over penetration. This would definitely be like a good home defense bullet style, is you're not going to go very far through something with this. However, if it hits bone or something, I'm a little bit skeptical of its ability to really get the job done. Now, there's going to be a question about this ammunition of how the impacting points hit on paper. A lot of people suggest, well, maybe it's going to hit in a different position. My J-frame shoots a little bit notoriously low anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a paper from a piece of cardboard from 7 yards, and we'll see just kind of like how the points of impact compared to the point of aim, and we'll see what kind of group we get on paper. So let's get started with that part. All right, I'm about 6 yards from the target. I'm going to shoot the little piece of tape on the right with the standard plus P jacketed hollow point, and then we're going to shoot the target on the left with the ARX and see how they compare. Now keep in mind this gun normally shoots a little bit low for me, so I'm going to hold the points of impact dead center on the tape just to see how different in elevation they are from 6 yards and see what kind of groups we get. So here we are with the Super X jacketed hollow point. Alright, pretty consistent group for this gun. We'll see how the ARX ammunition compares for point of impact and see how it groups as well. Right here is the ARX ammunition. That's interesting. We got 2 bullet holes from 1 shot. That is a little bit odd. That would indicate fragmentation as it's leaving the muzzle. We'll keep going. I'm seeing something a little bit interesting continuing going on. Now here's the traditional jacketed hollow point. That is that's average. Now this is a little bit lower point of impact, I would say, overall, but it's a tighter group. But the thing is, I fired 5 shots and there's 7 holes here. See, we see 2 right here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, actually 8. So that means this ammunition is fragmenting while it's leaving the muzzle. That is not a good thing, because your weight of your ammunition is going to be, it needs to hit in one spot to get adequate penetration. And we saw that low penetration on the water jugs. Jacketed hollow point, it's performing a little bit better, but I have to say, I wonder if that round that came back and hit me between the eyes, it felt almost as if it was a weak charge, like there was something weird going on with that round for it to do that. So I would say, on all accounts, I feel like this is kind of, we're getting in failure territory here. I kind of want to call this a complete failure on the point of the ammunition on both of these. But this right here is, you saw it with your own eyes. That hit up there. The first round was in that little group, and then there's a fragment that hit over there. That's not a good thing, especially if you're a person that you might ever get into a hostage situation. So the takeaway from today is, I really don't think it's a good ammunition, to be honest. It's not something I would feel comfortable carrying. We saw fragmentation before it even impacts, multiple times on paper. We saw that fragmentation on just water jugs through denim. It's just I'm a little bit iffy on that ammunition. Now, the concept of it is a cool idea, especially when we get into things like high capacity autos, especially something like a 45. A 45 is a 118 grain bullet versus oftentimes a 230 grain bullet. If you carry 14 in a Glock 21 and 2 extra magazines, that would make a significant difference on weight. However, when we talk about carry weight in a 5-shot or 6-shot revolver, it wouldn't be enough to even really equal out to an ounce of difference in weight. So I can't see really an advantage in carry weight when it comes to something like that. So overall, I'm a little bit skeptical of the ammunition. It's not something that I would choose to carry personally. We shouldn't see fragmentation of bullets like that. We just shouldn't. So that's what I'm getting today with the ARX. I wish I could say it's a great ammunition, but from my opinion, from my experience, what I'm getting, I cannot recommend it. So that's what I'm getting today. So comment, share, and like. And as always, thanks for watching.